Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back with another reaction video, Incognito. Okay, so we've done Instagram scary stories. We have done Snapchat scary stories. Now we're getting into something I didn't think this would actually ever. This can actually be in the scary category, but I guess so. Where we got three true dog sitting horror stories. So I mean, you know, we already know this is on Mr. Nightmare's channel, so the links will be in the description down below. His actual channel description, and then the original video will be in the links in the description down below. Also, the previous ones that I've done, like the Instagram and the Snapchats and all that other stuff, that will also be in the description box down below as well. So if you guys want to actually check those out, you actually can just go down below, and everything will be in the description box down below. So without further ado, let's get right into the reaction videos. So play. Dog sitting horror stories. I'm just so curious. I really am so curious of like seeing like what is gonna go on with this. Like I really am. So let's see.
There was this one weekend that my aunt, uncle, and cousins went away upstate, and instead of taking their dog with them or to a kennel, they asked me to watch her for the weekend
now we
at their house.
Hear a little bit better.
I was excited to do so because not only would they pay me, but they are loaded and their house is full of fun stuff to do. They have a Havanese,
I never heard of a dog.
Her name is Luna. I didn't mind watching Luna because she was such a calm, low-maintenance dog. I just fed her twice a day and let her out back a couple times a day. She always followed me whatever room I was in, so if I was in the giant living room watching TV,
I mean, it seems normal. Dogs follow you and do things like that. I mean, it seems
downstairs to the basement to play video games.
It seems like it's regular.
And would lay down
so
there.
I'm just trying to see.
While playing video games in the basement, Luna suddenly lifted her head from the ground and stared in the direction of the boiler room. I had a dog before, and I knew this was something dogs did to any slight sound. But it was still enough of a reason for me to pause the game and feel a little unsettled. I looked in the direction of the boiler room as well. It was silent and dark in there, and there was no chance of me going in there.
He said, "Nah, man. Nah, I'm not going
uncomfortable. Nah." I guess my childish fears were getting the better of me. She put her head back down for a minute, but then, again, lifted it up and looked towards the boiler room.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess that somebody's in there.
But I was still a bit too freaked out to continue playing video games comfortably. So I turned everything off and ran up the stairs, shutting the door once Luna came hopping up. They also had another big gaming room on the main floor. It was kind of disconnected from the rest of the house in that you had to go through a narrow
like these big houses,
man,
it used to be stuff like this. I just know stuff will always happen in a big house like that. That's why I can never get one like that. I played more video
games for a while until
when I get a little bit older, like I just can't do that to it. So I just know.
A guest bedroom that was nicer than my bedroom back at home. I threw on a pair of sweatpants and a white undershirt as pajamas and jumped under the covers, not going to sleep without watching a little TV first. Luna was obviously by the bedside. She was really growing on me, how affectionate yet calm she was. I eventually turned off the TV and went to sleep. My sleep was disturbed by a growling sound. I turned on the bedside lamp and saw Luna laying still on the floor, head down, yet growling at something. I said her name a few times, but she didn't look at me. Then she lifted her head finally to look at the closet door. Her growling grew more intense, and she stood up now, still looking at the closet.
This is like getting so... Are y'all guys getting creeped out? This is pretty creepy now.
In fact, I never heard her bark once. I looked at the closet, a sliding wooden door closet.
Okay.
It was open about 3 inches from the left side.
This is like... I'm so confused right now.
Of course, I couldn't really see anything from the inside. I got up from the bed really sneaky-like and tiptoed closer to the closet. I don't know what I was planning on doing really. I guess I just wanted to look through the crack, or see if I could hear something. When I got about 5 feet away from the closet door, Something that I couldn't see from my bed came into view.
Oh
through the crack of the
no!
door. And I
Oh no! Oh no! Oh.
couldn't see any face or anything. It was too dark. But I knew what I was looking at in that closet was a person's eye, perfectly tucked between the wall and the edge of the door, looking into the room, or now at me. I screamed, but it didn't do much good since I was alone. I took Luna and ran for the front door, grabbing the emergency cell phone on the counter to call 911 during my run away from the house. It was 1 a.m, so I didn't bother calling my aunt and uncle. The cops did a thorough sweep and found someone in the pantry closet downstairs. I never saw him, though, because another officer was preoccupying me with conversation to calm me down. I was just relieved to go back inside, knowing I was the only one in the house. Besides Luna,
so
course,
a dog literally
might have saved my
life.
life that night.
Man, that's oh man. See, oh man,
A cold December in Vermont countryside. Home alone for the night.
I'm gonna pause right here. I'm gonna pause. Before we even get into the second story, I'm gonna talk about this more in like depth at the end of the video, like after it gets really done. But I just want to know, like, okay, so basically the dude was in that boiler room them 2 times. He looked over there, but he didn't really think none of it. So then all of a sudden he gets upstairs. The question to me now is, did he come through another way to get to that closet, or did he sneak in or something while he was underneath the covers or something? I'm just so confused at that point. Leave your comments down below and just let me know what you guys think about that one right there. But yeah, I just wanted to pause that and just just was confused on that. But anyway, let's get right back to it. So play
him a favor. Even though it was unbearably cold outside, I couldn't let his dog out in the yard. We don't have fences up here, so he could easily run into the woods and get lost. That meant,
no, it's already a red flag right there, baby. No sir, baby.
An old, dirty,
going out the deep end with that one, baby.
Chester seemed excited when I hooked up the leash ring onto his collar ring, and he instantly pulled me towards the front door. I could already tell he'd be a pain in the ass to walk. Stepping out into the cold was a major shock to my body.
Yeah, I'd rather hot than cold any day. That's just me.
I ran a little bit with Chester just to
warm
the
myself spring, up. Summer type of dude more than the winter and the fall.
I thought for sure he'd do his business, but then he perked up and stared off into the woods. Then his deep, loud bark started echoing through the woods as he tugged and tried to pull me into the woods. I tried my hardest to hold him back, but the leash snapped at a weak point, and off Chester went into the woods, disappearing in seconds. His barking faded away into the woods until I couldn't hear it anymore.
That hard to where
I chased after him,
he was actually able to snap it.
He probably ran off chasing a deer or a small animal or something, but with only the light of my phone, I knew I wouldn't be able to find him. He would have to come back to me on his own. After a while, I stood in place and continuously called Chester's name. I heard footsteps nearby and got excited that Chester must have been coming back. But as the footsteps got louder, I realized they were much
You thought those were dog's footsteps and he wasn't even barking? Oh no,
They sounded more like a pair of feet making the noise, not 4 legs. I turned
yes, sir, you definitely are. You better want to do something.
The footsteps seemed to be circling me. My fear was if it was intentional or not, and if I'd been seen or not. I tried my best to tiptoe back to the road. I was covering decent distance, and then the sound of the footsteps just stopped, or faded away. I don't remember noticing which one. But because of this, I was more laxed with my footsteps and walked a little faster. Little did I realize that the black object I was walking towards was a person's back.
Oh, yo. That made my heart stop a little bit.
I I was covering my mouth, trying not to make a sound. But it was obviously too late. The person definitely heard my footsteps. At this point, I took a chance and asked if they had by some chance seen my dog.
Why?
But they didn't even
Why
turn
would
around.
you ask them that?
They had their hood on, so I couldn't even gauge what they looked
Oh
like.
my god.
I took another chance and put my hand on their shoulder, and once again, felt like my heart stopped. The shoulder felt hard and wooden. I walked in front of the body facing the tree and saw nothing inside of the hood. Nothing but a long stick holding it up. It was some kind of fake dummy. That meant whatever was making those footsteps was still nearby. I didn't care about the noise anymore. I just ran back to the road and then up the hill and back to the house. I never went back for Chester, and he never came back to the house. Telling my friend was the worst part. He hated me afterwards, and I expected he would, given that we weren't exactly the closest friends to begin with already. That night, though, I had a nightmare. That I was in my room, and I heard Chester's barks out in the woods. Like scared, whimpering type barks. I woke up and looked out the window to the dark woods, hoping the barks were real, and I just heard them in my dream. But they weren't. It was silent. I don't know what happened to Chester. I don't know what the dummy was doing in the woods, and I don't know who was making those footsteps that night. Quite frankly,
it sounded like
I'm
the
not sure I
dog
wanna
was
know
kind
the
of
answer
either
to
setting
any
them
of it.
up or the dog got killed. I don't know which one to say. I don't know if Chester got killed or if the dog was trying to set him up in a way. I'm so confused at that. See, these scary stories with the dogs are so confusing to me.
I was watching my neighbor's dog for a little extra money one night. She was a creepy neighbor though, not intentionally, but she was kind of old and had an antisocial vibe to her. She was obsessed with her dog, so when she was apparently visiting family or something across the state and couldn't bring the dog, she practically begged me to watch her. But when I agreed for the right price, she literally scolded me about what to do and not to do as far as taking care of her. The dog's name was Hazel. There was a lot of pressure put on me for watching this dog. She insisted I stay at her place instead of taking the dog next door to our place. She had a spare bedroom with a single twin-sized bed and a desk in the corner. That was all that was in the room. The dog was small, white, and puffy. I don't exactly know what kind. Maybe a Bichon Frise. It was loud, yappy, and annoying though, and I hated it. I started watching it around 5, and just played on my phone for hours, only feeding the dog once that night. Thankfully, I'd only be doing this for one night.
But I still kind of, why I gotta stay at your place? I
to
can
play
just
games
take
on her TV.
right across.
But then I realized the TV was so archaic, it didn't even have an HDMI port, so I couldn't even hook it up. So I spent most of the day playing games on my phone and listening to Hazel's yapping at every little thing. I did do a little snooping around, of course. I looked into the woman's bedroom since the door was left open, even though she told me not to go in there. The furniture was all archaic in there as well.
Okay.
There was a big rectangular rug in the middle of the room.
So where's the messed up part gonna
Indian-looking
come in?
patterns. When night came, I went to bed as early as possible, like 9 o'clock. I'm sure Hazel was sleeping in the woman's room. I didn't really care. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of Hazel's constant barking. I screamed, "Shut up," but the barking seemed kind of muffled in sound.
Like a
it was
basement
coming
or
from a
something.
basement or
What?
something. But I wasn't aware of a basement in the house. I walked to where I heard the barking coming from. I was confused to realize it was coming from the woman's bedroom. I walked inside and saw the rug in the middle of the room had been rolled up to the corner, exposing a door in the grounds, opened up. It was pitch black down there, but Hazel's barking was definitely coming from down there. I was scared shitless. Obviously Hazel didn't open the door, and she was barking at something down there. I didn't want to
get out! What are you talking about, shining that light?
I was about to leave the house
Man, boy!
home, but I couldn't just leave Hazel down there. I whispered her name. and then the barking stopped. I was hoping to see her running up the stairs from the dark abyss any moment, but she didn't. Something did come out of the darkness, though. It was a hand grabbing onto the side of the opening. The hand of a man. I was faced with a fight or flight scenario, and being the little 15-year-old I was, I chose to run for it. I woke my parents and screamed at them what just happened. My dad called the police and reported a break-in next door. The police checked the woman's bedroom as I described. The rug was apparently back in place and the door was shut. They still went to check it out, and apparently found a big crawl space type area with a bunch of weird things laying around. No sign of a person or Hazel. When the neighbor returned home the next day, my dad confronted her for me. Apparently she threw a huge tantrum and mentioned something about the demons making noises below her at night. Then she exploded into tears over her dog. Ever since that day, we haven't spoken a single word to her. We hardly ever see her anyway. She never leaves her house. I'm okay with that. It still terrifies me to think of that night, though.
Man, that's where we gonna end that right there, man. 3 true scary dog sitting horror stories. Okay, okay, let's talk about this last one we just heard about with the Hazel and all that. Okay, so you're a 15-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, 15-year-old girl, don't matter. Let's put it in either or scenario, right? Okay, your neighbor, this old lady neighbor tells you to watch your dog for a day. Whatever, cool, right? Well, just make some money. Cool, that's cool, that's cool, it's cool. I'm cool with that. Alright, so then why do you have to sit over her house? Right? And then on top of that, she doesn't even tell you about this secret room she has underneath her, underneath her actual like room or bed with the rug and stuff. What, like, she don't, like, you would want to tell somebody, you scolded me about telling me how to take care of your dog, but you're not telling me about secret stuff that could actually get me killed, or is there some secret that's got something underneath that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty weird, pretty stupid. But okay, let's move on. Okay, so I'm watching your dog, I'm playing the game, whatever, and snooping around, because that's just people, just curiosity. He's curiosity, he's snooping around, or just curiosity, just snooping around. And at night, you know what I'm saying, he was asleep, but he hears the dog. So basically now, see, like for me, like I said, if I would have seen that rug was out and all that, and that room was open, and I didn't even know nothing about it, we're gonna but I don't know, I guess I don't know why he sat there. I don't know why he was still just sitting there. I don't know why. That doesn't make sense why he was sitting there. But like I said, I would have just got out of there. Like, no questions asked. He talking about I'm whispering her name to see if she gonna come back. Like, come on now, like, no. Then okay, so the next story, that other story 2. Like I said, I think that dog Chester was setting that dude up. I think he was getting set up. That's just my opinion. I think he was getting set up. Maybe he wasn't getting set up.Maybe it was maybe he actually just got taken and got killed or whatever. But I mean, it's kind of weird that you touch a shoulder or whatever. You look around, it's nothing but there's a stick holding up this hood. And then a dude, you heard somebody's footsteps, most likely an older guy, footsteps in the woods or whatever. So mostly it seems like the dude that was following him with the footsteps put that dummy out there so he could see and hear where he was at or whatever, and try to get him. But that didn't work. Then we go on to the first story, and that first story is just so weird. Like, that's the one time you seen the dog actually help him out. Because I think from the get-go, if you would have went to that boiler room, you would have seen that person that was in the house or whatever, because the dog was kind of just growling and stuff like that, you know, looking toward that area, that boiling room. But then it takes him all the way to when he goes to sleep, or he about to go to sleep, and he hears the dog barking again or whatever. But this time now, he actually sees the eyeball of a person. I'm just surprised he's able to take the dog himself and get the phone all at once and call 911 for that situation. Like, I was just so, like, man, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't even think of getting 2 or 3 of those things. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have had left the dog. Who even knows? I'm just saying. That's just me. But that's just my thoughts on these videos, man. Like I said, it's 3 true scary dog sitting stories from Mr. Nightmare. Like I said, links will be in the description down below for both the channel and the original video, and also all the links to the other Nightmare videos recently I've done will be in the description box down below as well. But like I said, it's been a reaction video from your boy Incognito. Before we end this off, slap a like on this, please, and subscribe to the channel. It helps out the channel out a lot. Comment down below your thoughts and all that. I would love to get back with you guys, reply to you guys' comments. So without further ado, like I said, it's been your boy Incognito, and peace out.